What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Neheb. Hope you're ready to get your Minotaur on. We're going to play first. Let's get the graveyard all squared up. Ooh, we got some Depala action. Yes, I like that. Little three converted mana cost commanders squaring up. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Temple of Malice, Scry, Key to the City, Sword of Feast. Yeah, this is a pretty good little hand. We'll keep on this one. We're going to keep, yes. Good luck, man. Have some fun. Let's get the chat closed down, and then I'll cover what our commanders do in just a second. But yes, we will lead off with the Temple of Malice. Let's go get that off. Get the Scry up and running. See if we get that. There we go. And get the Scry. See, definitely looking for another land. That would be ideal. That would be online for Neheb. Rage Blood Shaman. I'd love that, but let's go put that on the bottom. Then we'll go and pass the turn. So we're playing Neheb. He has first strike. Other Minotaurs you control have first strike. As long as you have one or fewer cards in your hand, Minotaurs you control get +2/+0. Then whenever Neheb deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. Let's see if we hit. Okay, let's go and get the land down for the turn. Let's go ahead and go with a Key to the City. That's the only thing we have for 2. And then I'll kind of cover what Depala does in just a second. Anything else? No, we're good. We can go and pass the turn. Okay, so we're playing against Depala. Other dwarfs you control get +1/+1. Each vehicle you control gets +1 as long as it's a creature. Excuse me. And then, whenever she becomes a tap, you may pay X. If you do, reveal the top X cards of your library, put all dwarf and vehicle cards from among them into your hand, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, I always enjoy Depala. I need to play her some more, but she's a pretty fun commander. Definitely fun. All right. Well, that is a way to get some of our Minotaurs onto the battlefield. Let's go and get that down. We can get into spots where we can actually chunk a card to Key to the City, and then whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2 if you do draw a card. So we can get into spots where we can, if we need to kind of dig a little bit deep, we can start chunking some cards. But what we can do, as far as the didgeridoo, we pay 3 mana, put a Minotaur from your hand onto the battlefield. So talk about a random card, but whenever Wizards reprinted Minotaurs, I kind of gave the card a second life. So it's always fun that like old cards get a little second life. So hopefully the land drop, then we can get into spots where we can get our Minotaurs up and running. Okay, so we got the Oh man. Don't want to blow that up, man. It gets Neheb all nice and feisty. No fair, man. But that dwarf is always funny looking dwarf right there. Okay, do we want to chunk a card draw? No, let's see if we can hit the land drop this turn. We did have a Scry. We had another draw. Terramorphic Expanse. I will take that. Let's go get the Terramorphic Expanse. Anything we need to do for 2? No. And then do we want to probably go ahead and crack for double black because we do have the Whip of Airbow. So we're going to do this now. That way we just kind of get out of the way and don't forget about it. Anything else? No. We're going to go and pass turn. So, but as far as this deck goes, we're definitely running Minotaur Tribal in here, and we're running some Madness cards and some Hellbent cards that can have some fun. Outside of that, we're running stuff like Mogis, God of Slaughter. When you're playing Minotaur, Minotaur Tribal, you're definitely gonna get really close to Devotion for Mogis, and then at the beginning of each player's upkeep, he deals 2 damage unless they sack a creature. So, basically, we're just Mogis is in here to do a nice little 7/5 indestructible. Plus, he's a Minotaur. He looks like a Minotaur. I would classify it, but he's got the upward horns. But anyway, it is what it is. He's a god, not a Minotaur. Okay, Anthem of Rakdos. Let's go ahead and go for, I guess at this point, doesn't really matter. We can go for Neheb. He's going to have first strike, and then we can get down Adaptive Automaton the following turn and kind of give a nice little bonus. So yeah, let's go and go for Neheb. So looking at tapping out for 3, we're going to have 2. We're not really that close to his first strike ability, but hopefully next turn we can go for the Adaptive Automaton and then get into a spot to where we can get a nice little bonus, and then he's going to be a Minotaur too. And then we get down the Mauler, and then that Mauler, he's a Changeling, so he's going to, whenever he casts a spell, he's going to get a +1 counter on it, but he's going to also count as a Minotaur. So, and we can also, with Key to the City, we can get into spots where we can just start discarding cards and giving Neheb unblockable, swinging in, and kind of get our hand total down to get that value up and running. Stuff that we can kind of chunk out of the graveyard. We don't have a lot of creatures in there, so we can definitely chunk the Whip of Erebos and then the Anthem of Rakdos. This is all stuff that we'd love to get into, but at this point right now, we're just kind of looking to build into spots where we can get the active Neheb online with that first strike damage to kind of stop this Depala from running our vehicles into our running them into Neheb. So hopefully we can kind of get this little fire stick in the spoke of their vehicles. Okay, let's see what they're tapping out for. They get the AV, get the Mechanic coming in. Enters the battlefield and return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. Okay. Now what they can do is they can bounce this back to the hand, recast it, and blow up Key to the City. If they do, in response to that, we'll probably go ahead and discard a card that we can get our hand total down. See if that's something they want to go for. Okay, they do bounce it back to the hand. They can definitely take care of the Key to the City off that and just recast it. Okay, destroy target artifact. Let's go and chunk make Neheb unblockable. Let's discard. Let's go and get the Anthem of Rakdos into the graveyard. Neheb can't be blocked, but they're going to go and blow that up. Let's see if we hit the land drop for the turn. Okay, hit the Catacombs. Let's go and get that down. So we're looking at right now 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 4 Devotion. Let's see. So we're looking at 3, 6, 9 coming across next turn. It's going to put us down to, you know, trying to think the best sequence for this. Now, if we go Sword of Feast and Famine, we're going to have protection from black and green. Our opponent's red, white. That's not really going to do anything. And let's go. Let's get the Mauler down. That way, if they cast any spells, we're going to get a nice little added bonus on there. And then we get down the Adaptive Automaton the following turn. And then it's whenever an opponent casts a spell, we're going to get that +1 counter on there. Yeah, let's go and hold off. They're swinging in for 9. That's going to put us down to, should put us down to 12 next turn. So we're looking at 2 2s. We get down the Adaptive Automaton. We're looking at 3 2 or 3 3 3 3. And if we get into spots where we can have Neheb's ability online, looking at that +2/+0. But them taking out the Key to the City is really kind of going to get us away from that one. Let's see what they're casting right now. They don't have any vehicles out right now, which is not going to get them any added bonuses over there. But if we can just get into that sweet spot where we have that first strike, we can stop them from swinging in. Then hopefully yes, we're going to use that ability. Okay, so we're going to have a 3/3 first strike. Now with the Express, it does not have haste, so it's not going to be able to swing in just yet. So we're looking at 3, 6, 9 coming across if they want to swing in. But with the +1 counter in there, we're going to have first strike, so we'll be able to hold them at bay. So, okay, I like that. And let's see, let's go ahead and crack the Catacombs. We do have to watch out for the 8 coming across. That is something that we don't want to lose to. A nice little train coming in hot. Let's go ahead and grab the Blood Crypt. That way we'll just shock it in later. I'm not going to pay 2 life. Nope, we're good. You draw into Strip Mine. Okay, so let's go and get the Strip Mine down. So we're looking at, we have 5 total mana. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're a little far away from Devotion. If we go Adaptive Automaton, that's going to give our creatures a nice little bonus. If we go Sword of Feast and Famine, if we get in spots where we're going to get +2, we need to equip it to one of our creatures. Is that what we're going to go for? So we're looking at, it's going to have the protection from black and green. It's not going to take care of the Armada Express swinging in. Yeah, let's do a little bit of setting up this turn. Let's go Adaptive Automaton. Yeah, we're going to get that down. We're going to name Minotaur. We're going to get the nice little added bonus. So we're looking at a 4/4 first strike, and then Neheb has first strike. So we can actually get into spots where we can double block on the Express. So I do like that. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and hold off right now. We could swing in for 3, but they could double block, and I like them either crewing the vehicle up or at least kind of holding them back. And then next turn we can go for Whip of Erebos. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll actually be enough devotion for Mogus to where we'll have that 7/5 kind of beat stick to where we can start swinging in. Or we get into spots where we can get the Sword of Feast and Famine down, equip it to one of our creatures, and then we can get that to untap all of our lands. See if they're going to crew up the Express before, well actually no, we're already in the attack step, so see if they're going for. Okay, but yeah, when you get the Minotaur Tribal up and running, it's pretty fun. It gets pretty gnarly pretty quick. And they're not casting any spells, which is not going to put any bonuses on our Mauler out there. So let's go and get these Swamp down. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have 6 mana. Let's go ahead and go for the Sword of Feast and Famine. Is that what we're going to go for? We can go for Whip of Erebos. That'll turn us on Devotion next turn. Actually, if we go Mogus, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we go Mogus this turn, we're going to get that nice little added bonus. And then next turn we can go Whip of Erebos, which will turn Devotion online for Mogus, and then we can kind of start swinging in, and then we'll get those triggers up and running too at the beginning of their turn. Okay, yeah, I like that play a little bit better. And once again, we're still holding off because once they crew up the Express, then at least we can kind of hold them back with Neheb, and then kind of stop the train from swinging into the Minotaur station. But yeah, the deck's fun. It's definitely. I built it, and when I build decks for MTGOTraders, I usually build it with if you're viewing it, maybe you want to build the deck potentially or buy into it or something like that. And so I definitely tried to go Neheb budget with Neheb first, but I don't know, it just wasn't. It's a little weird sometimes. Not sometimes. I mean, I'm trying to think what I'm saying. When I built budget Neheb, it was just very lackluster. There were just times where I just kind of lost like 3 or 4 games in a row because we couldn't get our mana base up and running. So this is one of those decks that it is fun, but you could probably build some budget versions of it. It was just when I tried to play it in the tournament practice room, not the tournament practice room, when I tried to play it in the Magic Online, the Commander room, it was just kind of just kind of lackluster. So we ended up not going budget with this one. Okay, so we got Oval Chase Dragster swinging in. It's Trample and Haste, Crew for 1, 6/1. We're going to have that first strike ability. Yes, we're going to use that ability. So we've got a 5/5 first strike. So even if they do want to swing in with the Oval Chase Dragster, I am A-okay with that. Let's see. And then, yeah, we've got the Whip of Erebos next turn. That's actually going to turn on the Neheb swing in. Now, we get into spots where we have to watch out for our alpha swing. We don't want to leave ourselves open to a train and a little Oval Chase Dragster kind of doing in some cleanup duty for us. So, see what we draw for the turn. Hopefully it's a land drop. Combat Celebrant. Okay. So we go Whip of Erebos. We're looking at 1, 2, 3. We can get that down. That's going to turn on Devotion. Or we can go Sword of Feast and Famine, Combat Celebrant. Then next turn we can get into spots where we can exert them and kind of swing in again. What sounds good to us? They can still crew a vehicle as a blocker. If we go Whip of Erebos, we can swing in with Mogus for 7 and kind of start chipping away at them. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go. Yeah, if we go Combat Celebrant, we can get a few extra steps swinging in. And we'll have the Devotion turned on for Neheb swinging in. So we're looking at 5/3, 7/5 swinging in first strike. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go Combat Celebrant. Yeah, let's do a little bit of setting up. Let's go Combat Celebrant. And then let's go ahead and go Sword of Feast and Famine. That way we can do a little bit of setting up. We're going to have all hands on deck the following turn. We can get into spots where maybe we can exert the Combat Celebrant and get into spots where we have a like double alpha swing, depending on how they swing out. Because they don't know we have Whip of Erebos in the hand. Alright, so we're looking at 7/5 swinging in. So let's say that they crew the vehicle for 4. They're take both of those to crew them up. That's 8 coming across, puts us down to 12. If we have the Oval Chase Dragster for 6, we're going to have first strike. Do we want to swing in with the Mauler? So we're swinging in for 7, puts them down to 23. They can still crew up the other vehicles, going to take care of the Express. And then we're looking at, yeah, let's go and swing in with the Mauler. I think I'm okay with this. Looking at first strike 7/5, you know, if they want to throw Depala and the Hedge Mage in front of it, sure, fair enough, or they crew up one of the other vehicles. At least we're going to kind of take some other vehicles out with it, take some of the creatures out, and then we get into spots where we can get down the Whip of Erebos. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, we'll have just enough to go for the. We'll get down Whip of Erebos and exert the Combat Celebrant and get a little extra combat step swinging in. Okay, so we got the crew on the Oval Chase Dragster. See what they're going for. We can still, basically we have first strike, so depending on how they want to go for it, we can still just kind of chump block it. Okay, Oval Chase Dragster's blocking. We're going to we'll have the first strike, so we'll be able to take care of that. And then anything else? No, we're good. Okay, so the next turn we get into spots where we're going to have the Combat Celebrant exerted, get an extra combat step. We're looking at getting down, casting the Whip of Erebos, which is going to definitely turn on the Neheb, and then we get into spots where we can get the extra combat step swinging in to really kind of get those, take care of the creatures, the boar state over there. Okay, get the Hedge Mage taken care of on the Mogus trigger. I'll take that. Get the dwarfs out of here. Definitely, you know, with the dwarfs hitting the graveyard, that's going to allow us to get in a spot where they're just kind of run out of stuff to kind of get the to crew their vehicle. Because right now they're looking at Depala, but they're not going to be able to crew the vehicle. Okay, and then the Sword of Feast and Famine does have a equip for 2, so we can get into spots where we can get down the Whip of Erebos and untap all of our lands. Okay, so we're looking at Profane Command. Choose 2. Target player loses X life. Return target creature card from a graveyard. And then target creature gets -X until end of turn. So if we're looking at, we need to get down Whip of Erebos to turn on the Mogus. So let's go and do that right now. Then we get into spots where we can do the second main phase once we untap our lands with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Let's get down the Whip of Erebos. That's going to turn on Mogus. If we go ahead and go for the Sword of Feast and Famine on Mogus, it's going to have Indestructible. And then, yeah, let's go and do that. That way, if we go and exert Combat Celebrant, it's going to have Indestructible. It's going to have that nice little added bonus, and then we can kind of get a lot of damage in that way. Okay, let's go and swing in hot. Got the Neheb with his Fire Stick at a 7/5 first strike. Adaptive Automaton swinging in. Mogus swinging in, then attack and exert. Okay, there we go. We're going to come in, untap all of the creatures. We're still going to get another combat step after this one. Let's see what they're going for right now. Okay, Swords to Plowshares on Mogus. Fair enough. And then, yes, we're going to go and use that ability. It's going to be an extra bonus on the Mauler, and then we still have the Exert ability where we're still going to be able to attack. So we lose out on the Mogus, but is what it is. We're going to be able to untap all creatures. And then once again, they don't have enough creatures to crew the Express. And we're at 29 right now because we gained that 7 life off Mogus. So we don't really have to really worry about a vehicle swinging in on the backside. See what they're tapping for right now. Wear Tear. Okay, destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment. Fair enough. And then, yes. Use that ability. It's going to be another 9/7. I was curious what they were holding on to. They had a lot of cards in the hand. Okay. Untap all of the creatures. There's going to be another attack step after this one. So it looks like we're getting in for 14, 18, looks like 22 between the Combat Celebrant. And then we're going to be able to clean up on Depala. Okay, taking the bigger chunk of the damage on Depala, so we're still getting in for 21. I have to discard a card. Profane Command, see what they're going to discard. And then we're going to have another attack step. The Cultivator's Caravan. Yeah, that was one of those vehicles that they printed that was like pretty cool, man. I was glad they did. Let's go and swing in again. So we're looking at 14 coming across 18. That should be exactly enough right there, I think, if I did the math correctly. 14 and then 18. Should put them down to -1. Look at that combat sub. There we go, and get the Neheb trigger on these stacks. So, yeah, you can see where you can slowly build up the Neheb, the Minotaur board state, and get into spots where that first strike and just a few lords out there. It's just really hard to deal with that first strike, depending on what your opponents or your they get out on the battlefield. So, all right, everybody, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks.